is Thursday, June 11. Welcome to CGN News. A human rights group is seeking the release of two men in Jamaica who have been in custody for more than 40 years without trial. The men, who are said to be of unsound mind, have been accused of murder. One of the men was 22 years old when he was locked up 48 years ago for murder. Stand Up for Jamaica, the group trying to secure his release, said that the man is currently not receiving treatment and is not scheduled for court, nor is he being assessed for his fitness to plea. SUFJ said that the second inmate was deemed unfit to plead in 1976 after he was charged with 2 counts of murder. He's currently 61 years old and has been deemed unfit to plead twice by the courts. Health and Wellness Minister Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic reported that 4 Barbadian nationals tested positive for COVID-19 after arriving on a JetBlue Airways charter flight. All international flights have been ordered to stop with immediate effect. The minister said the 4 are now in isolation at Harrison Point, St. Lucie. He added that 1 result is pending and all of the others were negative for the virus but remain in quarantine. Dr. Carissa F. Etienne, director of the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, is urging countries in the region to be fully prepared for the hurricane season, saying it is critical to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 in the Americas. Dr. Etienne says officials in the Caribbean, Central America, and the East Coast of the United States should review national hurricane response plans and conduct simulation exercises to ensure their disaster and COVID-19 responses are aligned. PAHO says there are more than 3.3 million cases of COVID-19 in the Americas, including the Caribbean, with many countries such as Haiti reporting exponential rises in infections and death. The organization says seasonal influenza vaccination is ongoing in 14 countries and more than 90 million people are being targeted. Overseas now, technology giant Amazon has banned the police from using its controversial facial recognition software for a year. It comes after civil rights advocates raised concerns about potential racial bias in surveillance technology. This week, IBM also said it would stop offering its facial recognition software for, quote, mass surveillance or racial profiling, end quote. The decision follows growing pressure on firms to respond to the death in police custody of George Floyd. Amazon said the suspension of law enforcement use of its recognition software was to give U.S. lawmakers the opportunity to enact legislation to regulate how the technology is employed. The International Criminal Court, the ICC, has authorized an investigation into possible war crimes committed in Afghanistan, which would include allegations against United States, Afghan and Taliban armed fighters. Presiding Judge Piotr Hofmansky said the appeals chamber considers it appropriate to authorize the investigation. The decision, which comes days after the U.S. and the Taliban armed group signed a peace deal, overturns a lower court decision and opens the way for prosecutor Fatou Bensouda to launch a full investigation despite U.S. government opposition. The U.S. is not a member of the Hague-based court. More than 70,000 people have died from coronavirus in Latin America as the pandemic sweeps through the region, putting growing pressure on an already stretched healthcare system. As the number of cases in the United States soared past 2 million, Central and South America emerged as the new hotspot for the disease that infected 7.4 million people around the globe. More than 415,000 of them have died. In Brazil, which accounts for well over half of the deaths in the region, hospitals were struggling to cope with the influx of sick and dying. German airline Lufthansa has said it will cut 22,000 jobs as it struggles to deal with the slump in air travel caused by the coronavirus pandemic. The carrier predicted a slow recovery in demand and expected to have about 100 fewer aircraft after the crisis. It hopes to agree with the measures of unions by June 22. It added that it hoped to minimize redundancies through short-time working and crisis agreements. About half of them are in Germany. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.